Okay, well, welcome everybody. This is the Tuesday night National Healthy Huddle. Everyone is welcome. Of course, many of you are playing in our spring Healthy Habits competition. It's not a weight loss competition. It's actually a healthy habits competition. And so we're seeing who teams of 10 to see who can stack up the most healthy habits in a 28-day period. And many of you are losing weight, which is great. That's a habit of health I guess it's not always a habit of health, depends on where you're starting. But if you're not at a healthy weight, that is a habit of health, is to obtain a healthy weight. But as many of us know, we can lose weight. And if you do it by dieting, there's a package that always comes along for the ride when you do a diet. It's weight loss and then weight gain, weight loss and then weight gain, and their diets are always connected, weight loss and weight gain. And what we're doing with this particular program, we call it an optimal health program and not a diet, because our goal is to get to a healthy weight and then learn the lifestyle to maintain that for the rest of your life. And then some of you actually may even want to move on to something we call ultra health, where you're really fine-tuning your health over time. And so at this point, if you guys are calling in on the phone, then you do have the ability to mute or hit the mute on your phone. Sometimes that helps for background noise. I want to go over the scores for the different teams that are represented here. You can also hit *6 on your phone, and that will mute you as well if you are on the telephone. Let me share my screen, though, here, and we will. I will show you where we're at. Are you guys familiar with the leaderboard here?
Ooh, we're in second place.
Have you guys seen that before?
Cool.
And so now there's a little bit of a disclaimer. I've only entered in the three teams that I'm the captain of. I've only entered in your points. Everybody else's points are yet to come. But right now we're winning. No matter what team you're on, we're the top three. And so this week I will say that many of you really did a good job. There was a lot more bonus points this week. And people went from 28 and 15 to like 38 and 40. The maximum points you can get is 42 in a week, because it's 6 different categories and then 7 different days. And then I also have at the bottom of this page, it says individual scores. And you can look at the different scores, and the top 10. Mike, right now, again, not everybody's and it won't be until tomorrow night, but Mike McKnight is leading the pack right now with 119. And Erica Zelaya is at 115. Gina Bennett, 112. Debbie Thompson's in 4th place right now at 109. Carol's at 105. And you can see the list as we get on down there. I'm in 9th place. So, and again, not all the scores are in yet, but there's where you can see, if you want to, at the bottom of the page, you can see the individual scores and see how you guys stack up individually. So
am I in 10th now, Craig?
Say that again.
I said, am I in 10th?
Carrie Greenwald is in 10th place, yes.
No, this is Dee Dee White.
Dee Dee. Oh, let me see where you are at, Dee Dee.
On 19th.
Let me double check here. I looking for you here. I suppose I'd have. There's like 260 people's names in here, so.
Oh. Okay.
Let me see though. Dee Dee White. Actually, no, you're not in the top 10. You're actually right now. You're at 208. Well, I don't know if I have all. You just sent me your scores. I only had week 1 scores, so it's not accurate because it only says you have 21 points, and I know you have more than that. So,
yeah.
So we're still getting all the points in for everybody. Just a reminder, the goal is to get them in by 9 p.m. Monday, and if you want to send them Sunday at 9 p.m., technically we go from Monday through Sunday. So you should have all your points scored up by Sunday night, and you can fire it off Sunday, and that way you don't have to wait or forget and get busy on Monday. So that's how that works. And for everybody that's here on telephone or on video, you get 5 points for this. This is a high value activity, and I appreciate y'all showing up. One of the other things too is creating community is a high value activity, and that's why one of the reasons why we stack this up, stack the points in this. So let me see if I see any new faces. Hi there. Brenda, if you flip your phone to the side, you'll get a landscape view, and then you'll be able to see us better. There we go. And so you might get 10 points tonight because you got 2 of you there, right?
I know. And
Yeah.
I got my really healthy girl next to me.
That's right. So excellent. Well, I think that it's always good to kind of introduce ourselves, and I know it takes a little bit of time, but that's what builds community. And if you have, so if you can go through and you can say your name, maybe your current, I don't know, whatever stat you want to give, maybe current weight loss, or and then what you're working on. What's the healthy thing that you learned for the previous 7 days? Maybe it's something you listened to, maybe it's something you read, or maybe it was a like something that happened on Easter and a choice that you made that was a new healthy choice. So name, and let's just do name, and if you want to tell us your weight loss, that's great. But then focus on something healthy that's you did in the last 7 days. And so why don't we start with Daryl and Stephanie?
Hi, I'm Daryl, and my weight's down about 10 this week or last week, so I'm really pleased with that. And my thing that I learned this week is it was very interesting watching my family traditions over Easter and not taking part in those, and just kind of sitting back and watching how kind of miserable everybody was after chowing down on food all day. It was very interesting.
Yeah. Yep. Well, great. And so it was different to just abstain. Did you had a lean and green, or what did you eat for at the holiday?
I did pretty good. I overdid it a little on the ham, but yeah, it was a lean and green.
Okay, great. Awesome. Well, good job. Those things are more significant than you realize, probably. So great. How about you, Stephanie?
Yeah, I'm Stephanie, and I'm still kind of status quo, and I'm still struggling. So I am, I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't really have,
Okay, no problem. And one of the things, just for some of you, it's actually valuable to mention that you are struggling, because there's plenty of other people here that are struggling as well. And so it's good to connect and say that, it's not all roses and, green grass. It's hard sometimes. You have to fight for it. And I know that Stephanie and I last week, we talked through more of the thought processes of getting her head ready for her body to change. And that is actually so relevant for many of us that we can't really change our body without working on how we're thinking. So I think I just want to encourage you, Steph, you're in the right journey, and you're doing things different, because I know you've never been part of one of these before, because they haven't been around, right? You guys are like breaking ground. This has never happened in the history of mankind. So we're doing different things, and we're going to get different results. So thanks for joining us. So Janelle, you can be up next.
Okay. I am struggling a little bit, mostly because I am at my in-laws' house, and my food environment isn't something that I really have control over right now. So Easter was all about someone else's traditions for my children with the eggs and the chocolate. And my husband also had a 40th birthday that we celebrated on Saturday. So like, I'm not even joking. There's 3 refrigerators in this house, and I couldn't go to the store and buy healthy greens because there was no space in any of the fridges. So it was messed up. But I will say my choices were different this time, not because I was perfect at following my healthy plan, but I only had like a small bite of cake instead of the whole corner with the extra frosting that I wanted. And then I ate blueberries instead of, dessert or whatever it was. So I felt like I did better than I have at any other Easter, but I'm still trying to get back into the fat burn stage. All my choices are healthy, but my weight is still plateaued. So that's my goal for moving forward.
And just let me comment on that. The reality of what you're doing there, Janelle, is that there is no really perfect choices to be made. It's just the process of changing your brain. And those small things, those small choices make a difference.
Yeah.
It wasn't an ideal choice or where you wanted to be, but it sure was not where you used to be.
Right.
And you're thinking about, I can't even buy healthy food because there's no place to put it, or I'm going to choose this instead of that. Imagine if we did that all the time, we would be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
So good job. Thank you. And one thing you guys know, the 5-in-1 is it's a science experiment. I mean, it's like a recipe, and if you don't get the ingredients just right, the recipe doesn't come out, and you're not in that magic state called fat burn. And so it's a very precise thing. Just so you all know, it's the 5-in-1 plus nothing equals fat burn. But it's also a process of getting your head right so that you can then get your program right. And you've come a long way just looking at you. And seriously, you're not where you started for sure.
No, it's definitely better. I have a ways to go yet, and I'm frustrated that it's taking so long, but I'm down over 30 from where I was a year ago. So I'm really happy with that. And all my clothes I just bought a couple weeks ago are fitting really loosely. So, I mean, it's happening. It's just, I wish it would happen like overnight instead of a long process.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the lessons we learn the hard way are the ones we don't soon forget. So, all right. So Matilda and Peter, bringing up the East Coast or the Midwest.
Mississippi River.
Mississippi River. Nice.
Yeah, we had I guess I'm down like 12 pounds for 2 weeks. This is the end of the second week, so I feel good about that. My clothes are fitting better. And my Easter story was we're visiting my son and his wife, and we usually have a few beers. So I knew how to just stay away from having beers, and it was hard, but I just kept a glass of either water or a little Coke, Diet Coke, and just didn't have beers. It was hard.
Yeah.
Because it was a beautiful day for a barbecue, and just had a piece of chicken. So yeah, it was, and I felt better. I didn't feel real. Normally I would have felt stuffed and full, and at the end of the day, and uncomfortable. And I felt good.
Yes. So you abstained from the beer, but you also abstained from the yucky feeling of overeating.
Right. Yeah.
We never think about that in the front end, do we?
Right. Because there was someone there that probably ate a little too much, and they were napping away, and I didn't feel like I needed to take a nap. So
I was thinking about have you ever calculated the cost of the conversations that you didn't have because you were sleeping when you could have been conversing with important, valuable people, but instead you were sleeping? What is the value of that loss? We don't know. So good stuff. How about you, Matilda?
So I think what I decided I needed to do from my workbook, one of the chapters in the workbook, I don't know if it was implied, but this is what I got out of it. I need to, when I eat my meal, my meals, there's not a whole lot there. So I'm not going to do anything else except eat my meals slowly and enjoy it. So it makes it last longer. And then, now if I'm at work and I got to rush in and grab, I have the bars and stuff. Sometimes I've got to kind of grab and go, but I'm still trying to say, just slow down for 10 minutes and have this meal. It's small and it's good. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Matilda, there's a difference between being full and being satisfied. And some people say, well, I'm just going to get this bar in and I'm just going to cram it down. And sometimes we don't have the emotional release of enjoying the flavors of the food. One technique I use is I'll take a bite of one of the bars. Believe it or not, the bars and the soups and a lot of the different foods, they actually hired the spice engineers from McCormick's Seasoning to come and spice and create all of our ingredients or all of our recipes. And so if you take some time with the different soups and the different bars, you'll actually be able to pick out the different tastes and flavors and spices. And doing that actually gives your brain time to enjoy that and be satisfied psychologically, not just physiologically. And so sometimes I'll do that and I'll just try to pick out the different flavors in it and spend time, even though it's a little bit, spend some time to try to be satisfied. So good job. Great job getting into your workbook. Literally, that is the game changer. What's in that book is a game changer. If you want to make this a destination and not a vacation where you're temporarily healthy, that book is the difference. So awesome. Thanks for joining us, Mike and Elsa.
Hey.
So Mike, I want to just toot your horn a little bit. Mike hit transition. He hit his goal weight, which was a little bit lower than he originally anticipated getting, and it's unbelievable. I wish we had the before and after right here. Unbelievable, Mike. So good.
It's exciting. Easter morning I hit 180. Originally I was going to go to 190 and I wanted to go a little further. So I hit 180. That's 70 pounds since January 6th. I'm feeling great. Lots of energy. And, so now learning about transition, and I'm excited to get through the 6 weeks of transition and then into the maintenance phase. And, but I bought size 32 jeans last week for work. I haven't worn a 32 jean since high school. So all you guys, it's possible and it's exciting and it feels great. So
proud of you. Good job. What I love about you, Mike, is that you followed the program and you were very teachable and you were like, no, it took you. You've been watching me do this with people that you know for a couple of years. And then finally he's like, okay, we're in. Whenever you're doing the thing you do, people seem to get to a healthy weight and stay there. And that's what we want. And I was like, come on down.
And then Easter was kind of fun. We went to my mom's house. We go every year to my mom's house, and usually we overeat like crazy. My mom, her but she loves to cook. She loves to feed people. So we usually have a big group, and everybody eats too much. And there's a whole table full of desserts and all kinds of, what I used to call great stuff. And so Elsa brought a cauliflower mash, and we did that instead of mashed potatoes. So we had asparagus and a little bit of ham and some cauliflower mash. And then to sort of treat ourselves at the end, we split a cupcake, and that was it. And the cool thing is that's all I wanted. Didn't want any more after that. So so that was cool too.
Good job. How about you, Elsa? Did you have a breakthrough this week or learn something? I can't see you. There you are.
I'm here. Sorry. I don't know about learning anything other than, we wanted to get through Easter and make sure that was going to go good. So we took some measures to do that. And that went really well.
You had a plan going into it. That's a big deal.
Yeah. We had a plan. We did some reading in the books, which I think some of it makes a lot of sense and I've heard it before, but some of it, it's unbelievable really what's out there in the food places and available for people. It's shocking. And, we're working real hard. Our thing is getting our kids, in line and figuring out how to make that work so that they're eating good foods too. And then I think it's not so much a thing I learned, but we're going to learn here very quickly is when Mike goes through transition. I'm not there yet. So it's going to be a little different, you know, how we manage that and move to that phase. So, but my overall weight loss, I think I'm just over about almost 4.5 pounds for this challenge, 37 or 38, I don't know, somewhere in total there. And that's good. And as I was sharing with you last Thursday, feeling really good. Like I noticed I'm sleeping better. It's been about 30 days or 90 days total. So, you know, just feeling really a lot different now, even in just the last week or two. So, you know, it's all going good and still motivated. And
that's great. It actually takes 90 days for all the cells in your body to be fully regenerated. And so you've been infusing your body every 3 hours with high quality nutrition with our meal replacements. And so now that it's been 90 days, it's like you're a whole new Elsa. I mean, biologically. And so now all of those cells have been built with good nutrition. And so you're saying even in the last week, you're feeling better. And welcome to feeling awesome. Get used to it.
Yeah, no, great.
And the other benefit for me is my wife keeps getting more beautiful every day, right? So
more beautiful? Can that happen?
You know, it's happening, so, right?
Awesome. Good job, guys. Yeah. Linda.
Thanks.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, yes.
So my name is Linda, and I lost a pound this week. I'm finally at 138. Which I think it's about 30 something pounds. I started at about, probably to be fair, 170 in December.
Wow.
And Stephanie, I wanted to empathize with you. My husband and I have been doing the food pretty well. We've been a good team. But today, I don't know if anybody saw on the Facebook page, but I had a major foodie relapse. Someone brought gluten-free cupcakes with amazing looking frosting, and I didn't really, and this is what I'm learning, is I didn't really stop and think if this was going to contribute or take away from my goal, my habit of health that I'm developing or wanting to. And I ate it. I just stood in the back and just ate it. And I was like, oh my gosh. So just, you know, it totally, it's hard. I have some weeks where I don't do very well. But I'm really learning this week. And I worked through living the guide.
The companion guide, Living a Longer, Healthier Life.
Yeah, just the structural tension, but being very real about your goals, and being clear about what do I want, and then what am I doing that will either take away or contribute to getting there. So it's been a really good mental process, and my husband and I have started looking at what we have in our kitchen and thinking, is this something that we're going to use in the future? And if it's not, like a waffle iron, is it something that we should remove? Because I need to not have stuff in the house, or else I am used to just eating it. And the book talks about that too, checking your cupboards, going through what you have, and just getting rid of stuff. So being really intentional.
Yeah. By the way, good job, you guys, taking up the challenge to get into the book. And actually, I mean, it's cool because normally you read the book and you just get knowledge and you get possibility to change your life. Well, now you get bonus points, right? You get all the rest of that, but bonus points too. And so if you're going to read the book, do it when there's a challenge, right? Get some bonus points.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I will say for Easter, we went to a friend's house and they were having crepes, but we took over some carb balanced tortillas and eggs. And I had a little bit of salsa and tapatilla sauce with the eggs and just wrapped up. And it was so good.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know about that, there's only one. You have to be very careful with the tortillas, especially when you're on the 5-1. But when you're in maintenance too, if you regular tortillas, Linda and I did this, and I brought them up on the screen. regular
Crazy.
tortillas and the carb smart tortillas are two different foods. They shouldn't even be next to each other in the grocery store. And so the fiber content makes the difference. So if you want more information about that, I can help you with that.
It's
Thank you,
so
Linda.
helpful. Yeah.
Carrie.
Hey, I'm Carrie, and I am down 25 pounds now, I think. So yay! But with Easter, it was pretty interesting to see the rest of my family, and because most of them have the huge, like the school square trays and stuff for the food, and then pile it high, and it's like I had my regular sized plate and and put a little bit of what was the best stuff, and I did have a little piece of pumpkin pie though, but but it's still better than and like the rest of my family were commenting on it too. It's like, well, why aren't you eating that much, Carrie? And it's like, well, I'm eating enough for me, this is all I need. And so they were like, we'll have your portion then.
Yeah. Well, and they probably commented on how great you look when you got there, and then they comment on why aren't you eating as much?
Yeah.
You don't get this by doing that.
Yeah, well, actually, everybody complimented me on my hair, and it's like I've had the same hair for the past year, so they noticed something was different about me, and then we're like, oh, it must be the hair. So I'm like, well, I'll take that as a compliment that I look good.
Yeah, exactly. Good job, Carrie.
Thanks.
So Bob and Gina.
Well, I've been sabotaging myself a little bit. I went to a ladies' retreat, and I am having a hard time recovering from that. I'm learning a lot about myself because when we first started in January, I was like right on top of it, never like gave an inch on anything. And now I'm going to get back there because now, I've been delving into the Habits of Health book more. And so it's like this time around reading some of the same stuff that I did before is really starting to hit in a different spot with me. So I didn't think I had any weird triggers or anything like that. I was like, I don't know what my triggers are, what's going on. But social settings I'm finding a difficult thing for me. So I'm doing a training at work where they provide lunch. And so this company's making like homemade dinner rolls and all this kind of stuff. So I'm finding I have to leave. I can't even stay there with it. So just come home and have my lunch at home, or walking and taking one of my Medifast bars or whatever. I'm finding that I have to put a plan in place. Otherwise I fail when I'm in a social situation. Till I get, and like Linda was saying, doing the structural tension, that's really something that I've been focusing on this week, as I've been reading all through these last few chapters and stuff, that really taking that to heart, thinking, okay, here's where I'm at right now, my reality, here's where I want to be, but to get there, all this stuff in between that I got to like work at. So I'm really focusing on, okay, now, okay, I did screw up, but now going backwards and saying, okay, what do I really want for myself? Is this getting me where I need to be at? So.
Well, and that's partly too the coaching piece. You and I can work on those pieces, because literally, what a huge thing is that you are discovering what your triggers are that have kept you from being as healthy as you could be for a while. And now how exciting is it that you're figuring that out? There's no more secret here. Oh, it's so good. And you're not where you started either. I mean, I'm sure Bob and anybody that knows you can attest to that. You have come a long way. Yeah. So how about you, Bob?
I've started. Well, you know how I feel about weightlifting.
Yes. You noticed that you cut back in your weightlifting, and what's going down with your weight?
It's I can't even keep a pair of size 32 pants on. So I mean, they're loose. So I'm not even going to bother buying those. But I'm still working out calisthenic wise, like we talked about. The push-ups, the sit-ups, and chin-ups and things like that. So that's keeping my mind healthier and focused. I think a trigger for me would be starting to sit around and not being as active. Then I just want to eat.
Right.
Everything looks good then. But I think since January I've lost 38 pounds. So I'm still down, feeling good. When I was lifting weights, I was going back up, even though I was on the 5 and 1. So, and I started really getting serious about reading the Healthy Habits book. And so I'm learning there's the diet, the exercise diet, and then there's the food diet, and they don't work too good together and stuff like that unless you have a balance in all those. I'm still reading the chapter.
I call it the Goldilocks program. It's not too little and not too much. We got to figure out just right. And when you backed off on your exercise, you started getting your results that you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm still kind of bummed I can't lift the weights, but
It's yet.
Yet.
Right?
Yeah.
We're gonna build a sports car, and then you're gonna get to go race it, right? But you got to build it first. Yeah.
So,
good job.
and we did good at Easter. We went to a church function that they had a lot of good food. Okay, well, it wasn't good food. It just
tasty food.
Looked really good.
Yeah.
So we ended up eating a salad and one small slice of ham. And I did walk up and down the dessert table, but I was looking for something specific. It wasn't there, so I walked away.
Ooh, playing with fire, but good job.
Yeah, that's true. But God was saying, not today.
Not today. Good. Yep. Yeah. It's you guys are building the mental biceps so that you're able to do these things, and it takes time. You don't get strong overnight, and you don't build habits to eat the right things overnight. It takes time, and so keep at it. All right, Melody. So Melody's up in Alaska.
Melody's back on again.
And Hi.
Hi. Melody, I'm in Alaska right now. I met Craig in Portland. That's where I live, and I'm in Alaska helping my parents out. My mom's being sick, and I can relate to Janelle because at home in Alaska, my father is the chef, and when he's under stress of my mom being sick, what he does is cook. So I am totally, he knows I'm on the diet thing and the 5 and 1 thing, and so he's thinking about, what should we have for dinner tonight? So he has me active in the cooking stuff, but still he likes to cook, and so it's a challenge to do the right thing when the good food's around. So, but Easter was easy because I went to a friend's house for afternoon, and their family doesn't do candy. They give the Easter egg for the kids to pick up in the yard, and they're full of money. I've never heard of this. The kids had 5s, and once I'm just supposed to get $100 for picking up Easter eggs. I never knew people didn't eat money in Easter eggs. I got jelly beans as a kid, so I think I got ripped. So anyway, so it was just getting money, and so it was just real easy. And I'm feeling good because I've lost almost 10 pounds since the challenge started, and so I'm motivated now to stick with the plan and keep doing the right thing. And it's getting easier the more I stick with this thing to make the right decisions. And I was also thinking that I was reading in the chapter 16. That if I do something wrong, it's talking about recalibrating, kind of thinking about how to get the same result, but changing my mode of operating a little bit. So I guess by being here in Alaska, away from my home base, I'm doing a lot of recalibration to figure out what I can do here that isn't all that easy because I'm in Alaska at my parents' house and not my house in Oregon. So it's going pretty well, but and I'm feeling very successful. I mean, I'm not down as far as I want to go, but then it's only the second week.
Well, and I love the fact that you're in a different environment with different circumstances, and she tested out Zoom early today to make sure she got connected, and you really are doing great. You really are. Good job, Melody.
Thank you.
All right, Brenda, you're up.
What's it for me?
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Brenda. I'm sitting here watching my daughter play soccer in the rain.
In the car,
and,
yeah.
What's that? I'm in my car.
Yeah.
But I'll get out and walk. That's what my plan was, is to get out and walk while she was playing. So I'm gonna get out there and move around. So when we're done here, but as you guys know that we're on the Facebook page, my biggest challenge has been during the run of my show. Everybody's bringing all these treats and cookies and candies and all this as I called it, disease food was out on the table, and so it was one of my biggest goals was to be able to walk by that and not participate, and I was able to do it. And I even went out and brought in some vegetables, and my vegetable tray got cleaned out real fast. So I think everybody else was a little tired of the other stuff as well. So, but anyway, that was one of my challenges. Easter, I did fine. You know, I made a big dinner for our family, but I had my salad and just a little piece of small piece of ham, and we had some meatballs, and I had one meatball, and it was weird, but somebody else brought them. But meatballs and ham, I didn't get it. But anyway, and yeah, it had a good time. I'm down. Actually, you know what, Craig? I can't even remember what I know my start weight was 161, but I don't think I put my right weight for the first week. So, but I'm down to 158. So that's, you know, 4 or 5 pounds. So pretty happy with that.
Mm-hmm. Great job, Brenda.
156, I think is what I said. Yeah.
You know what? One of the things that I wanted to say, Brenda, she lost her weight, and then but didn't embrace the habits of health, and kind of looked at this from the perspective that she could handle at the time. And then some of her weight came back on, and then she came back around and she said, "No, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to figure this out. And if it takes getting plugged back in again," and the amount of connecting to the community this time is not even comparable. Totally different. And so you're learning these new things this time, and you're doing great. You really are.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I originally lost 70 pounds, 74 pounds, and then I gained back about 35, 40 pounds. And so now I'm back down 20 more. I got 20 more to go.
Yep. Good job. You know, that's not uncommon, that people have to figure out, oh, this wasn't another diet, but I made it a diet, but I know there's more. And they come back around and they plug in, and they access more the second time around. And that means you're going to get different results. So good job.
Thank you.
All right, Carol. Let me unmute you. There you go. I got you.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm Carol. I have been doing okay. Down 17 pounds since February, only about 1.5 for the challenge. So I've been feeling kind of like, oh, things are going too slow. And so doing a lot of like reevaluation. You know, some of the vegetarian options in the plan had more carbs for protein. So it's like, okay, maybe vegetarian, but I'm not, so I can just stay away from those. Easter was pretty easy. Not being back in Memphis where my family is, I can avoid all the dinners and everything, which is great because being married, you have your parents and then you have your in-laws. My mother-in-law loves to send us Easter baskets, and she knows I'm dieting, but she thought just a few Cadbury eggs would be fine. Well, they all had to go in the trash immediately because they're not fine. And it's just, you know, she meant well, but they had to go in the trash. But it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be to get rid of them, even though they're my favorite thing. And so my Easter meals were just completely normal because we didn't go anywhere. So that was kind of easy. But then just challenge-wise, focusing on the plan and not whatever the slowness of the results are, because otherwise I'm just feeling demotivated.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you have to focus on non-scale victories. What if the scale's not moving, what is moving? What am I learning?
And measurements, you know, I take my measurements, so I'm seeing great results there. Clothes are definitely fitting. That's really great. It's just, you know, you read all these stories and it's like, oh, these people lost 2 pounds a week or, you know, pretty consistently. And it's like, well, now I feel behind. So
they didn't track their inches. Some people lose inches for a while, and then they'll lose pounds for a while. And then it's like a stair step. And so you could be one of those people. And so as long as the scale or your inches are moving each week, there's no need to change anything. You just keep, because your body's just working it out. And the thing is you can change one thing. Continue to change your mind by connecting with your coach and learn plugging into the Habits of Health system, because that's what's going to make the long-term change. So great stuff, Carol. Don't get discouraged. So we have someone named Maui Girl. Who is that? You might have muted yourself. I unmuted you on this end, but maybe your mic's not working. All right, we're going to move on to Julia. So I'm getting to the people that are on the telephone now. So if you did mute yourself, I'll probably be calling on you shortly. Is Julia there? *6 will unmute your phone.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yep, can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. All right. So, hi. Sorry, I'm in a store and someone just surprised me. Sorry about that.
No, you're getting your points. Leaving me alone.
Okay. I thought this was going to be optional, so I was just listening. I didn't really know you were going to call on me. Sorry.
Oh, well, Julia's a fellow health coach, and she joined in our challenge because she was thinking about being a team captain. But for the first one, she decided to just jump on one of my teams and be a participant. So you're welcome to share whatever you'd like, or we can just move on. It's up to you.
Okay, I don't have anything of value to add. I'm super encouraged by everybody's progress, even the struggling, and I just say, yep, keep going. And my focus in the next 5 days, I'm flying to Austin. And so in the airport and on the plane, my goal is to do all the workbook lessons.
Oh, wow.
So I'll have all the bonus points to add for next week. So I'm excited about that to get that accomplished.
I love to hear that. As the team captain, I love to hear that.
But that's all I have for today.
Okay, thanks, Julia. And Rakana.
Uh-huh.
So you may have to *6 or unmute so we can hear you.
Okay, I got it.
And Mary Pat's coming up next, and then Debbie, so you can get ready. Go ahead, Rakana.
Okay.
Is it Rakana or Rakana?
Rakana.
Rakana. Got it.
Yes. I continue to struggle. I'm just doing the best I can. I had some health things pop up that I have to pay attention to more than what I'm eating because we don't want to complicate what is going on medically right now. So that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm following the best that I can, trying to keep my energy up the most that I can. But right now we're just kind of lolling along until I can get to the cardiologist.
Got it. Well, so you and I should work together because I can help you. If you can't do the 5-in-1 proper, I can help you with a maintenance plan that will still lower your inflammation and will help you to still learn some things while you're in this this kind of intermediate stage. For all of you, sometimes the 5-in-1 we have to put it aside for a while, and it does. If we put it aside, then what do we do? Trying to figure out on your own is not the way the system's designed. That's why each one of you has a health coach, and you can work with them to design a interim program until maybe the 5-in-1 is appropriate. So I know you and I have been playing a little bit of schedule tag, and so I would love to try and connect with you and work with you more closely. So.
That would be awesome.
Okay, sounds good. As a matter of fact, after the call tonight, I can probably talk to you for a few minutes so we can schedule something.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah, great. So thanks. Mary Pat, you're unmuted on this end.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you great.
Okay, all right, good. My name is Mary Pat, and I started the first challenge back in January. I'm down 38 pounds, I think it is, I'm 12 pounds away from my original goal, and that's exciting. Easter was good. I did the cooking. I actually I worked in the morning, so that kept me busy, and then I came home and I cooked all afternoon. So the neat thing about it was that I made options for people who are trying to eat healthy, because I'm not the only one in my family. Well, I'm the only one on this program, but for me to make things that were healthy for a family get together is a huge change. And I did Brussels sprouts that were delicious. And if you'd have told me I'd have ever said that, I'd have said you're a liar, but they were good. I did asparagus, and I did a broccoli salad, and I did just a fresh fruit salad with nothing at all on it. It's just amazing how good things can taste when you just let them be their natural selves or whatever. The neat thing for me this week, I've been doing a lot of reading, but I stopped and I took my blood pressure at a place where I occasionally stop in, and I'm on a blood pressure medication, and I think I need to go back to my doctor because I'm not sure that I need it anymore. I mean, my blood pressure was the lowest I've seen it. I mean, it was well within healthy range. So I was so excited to see that. I think I was more excited about that than the weight loss, which those are the things that, as I do more reading, those are the real benefits. It's not the weight. It's all of the added benefits that come from just taking good care of myself. So
Yeah. Good job, Mary Pat.
That's what I want.
For those of you that don't know, Mary Pat does own a bakery, and so she bakes lots of yummy little things. And so for her, you don't realize how profound that is for her to say, I made these non-sweet pastry foods actually taste great. Brussels sprouts, crazy. And so it's so cool. Everything you just said, I'm like, yeah, ditto what she said. Good job. So good. All right. Well, thank you. I'm so pleased to work with you and just to be part of your story and your journey as you're learning to be healthy.
Thanks, Craig.
You're welcome. Debbie.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Hi, my name is Debbie, and I've been working on this whole thing for a while, but in the last month, I would say Craig's been talking to me about the 90-day challenge of sobriety. And so I've been spending a lot of time listening to the webcast with Lydia Went and Craig. And I've just really been working on the whole idea of creating the new habits and getting rid of the old habits and really working on changing my brain. So that's been my main focus in the last, I'd say, month. And today is day 2 of my 90 days. So I'm really excited, and I'm not scared. Like that kind of makes me nervous, but I just feel ready for this, and I'm just practicing using the faster scale and the double bind method, which really is stop, challenge, choose, and going through a lot of the same things that are in the Habits of Health book. So I'm going through the Habits of Health book again right now, and just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, for those of you that Lydia Wente is a fellow health coach, and she had a food addiction with binging, and we did this series called Food and Freedom, and we just had, because I have a history of addiction recovery, and now I have a ministry at my church. Probably for 12 years now, I've been working with people, bringing them out of addictions, and so Lydia and I worked with her, and we were going for 90 days of not relapsing to actually begin the rewiring process of your brain. And so for those of you that know someone that has food addictions, or you have serious food addictions, I have those recordings available, and they really are game changers. The tools that we use in that are more advanced tools than the Habits of Health focuses on. But it's really significant change. And then when you hit your 90 days, you get one of these, and it's a red bracelet that says freedom on it. And this is Lydia's idea. And so I had a bunch of these made up. And so if that's something that you want work on, let me know, and I can send you those recordings, and we can start working on some more advanced, really healing is what it is. So you're awesome, Deb. You are doing so good. You are really, really making some fundamental changes now. It's really cool. All right. So next up,
I'm excited.
Yep. Good to have you. Good to have you on our team. Mike, let's see here. Why don't you jump in?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I can hear you. I'm not sure which one you are, but we can hear you fine.
Yeah, I called in. I'm
Yeah.
a little bit behind the 8 ball on a couple of things for school. I'm actually a full-time student right now, and about 2 months and a week into being much healthier than I've ever been. A holiday meal with all the sweets and stuff around honestly was not the challenge I thought it would be. I really, I basically, along with Mike and Elsa, I had half of a small cupcake, and honestly, it didn't do anything for me like it used to. I was like, okay, it was okay, but whatever. And other than that, just had cauliflower mash and 5 ounces of ham, and stuck to the portions, and I'm feeling good. I guess the big things I am continually learning is, like a lot of us, my family's growing up, their attitude about food was better to die fat and happy and unhealthy and younger than to be skinny and healthy and deprive yourself of good food. And so I've been unlearning that. And the big thing for me is just a dramatic difference in how I felt back before I started this on Valentine's Day. I felt like garbage. I didn't feel like getting up and doing anything. And I feel great now. I take the longer way between buildings at school when I'm walking from class to class. And, in the past, getting stressed out would have been a real, it would have sent my food choices from bad to worse. And I am stressed out by school right now, but food is not the answer.
Wow.
So I know that's kind of lengthy, but
no, it's good.
Yeah, and kind of the high point for me was, and a lot of you probably saw the picture I posted comparing my winter and spring student ID pictures from the college.
I reposted that today, so if you saw it, this is Mike. This is the guy that was in the photo.
I feel better. I look better, so it's a win-win.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever posted anything on Facebook that I've gotten so many likes for in my life.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It was like over 30 likes. Well, it's so awesome that I don't know, there's just so many great things about it. And really, we're healthier. What you're doing is helping us be healthy. We're all part of this whole community. And so I appreciate you taking the time out of doing homework just to check in with us. I mean, you do get points, but you get a connection with these people, and they got to hear your story, which was helpful for us too. So
I want to be on the call, and it's just I'm excited about what Take Shape for Life has to offer about making people, remaking them into healthier people who feel better. I mean, that's if I can get on the 5-in-1 and eat that much vegetables that don't include corn or beans every day, anybody can do it.
Yeah, I talked to Mike probably 2 years ago, and we had a conversation about getting healthy and about different things, and he wasn't ready yet. And so he had to watch, and he had to work through whatever it was. And then one day he's like, I'm ready, and oh my goodness, the change is huge. So
yeah, I couldn't be happier. I just wish I'd done this years ago when we first talked.
Yeah, well, you're ready when you're ready, right? So
yeah.
I'm
just glad to be here.
Yeah, and we're glad you're here too. So one more call-in person. I unmuted you just a minute ago. Oh, yeah, go ahead and jump in. Let's see here. So I just unmuted you. Who are you want to share? I don't know who this is because I didn't catch your name, but
Hi, Craig. It's David.
David. Well, hello there.
Hi.
Do you have your wife there with
Yeah.
you?
She's tied up at the moment.
That's okay. That's funny. You
Yeah.
tied her up. Well,
But,
go ahead. Tell us your story. And was there anything that you learned this week that you'd like to share?
I started with the previous challenge back in January, and I've lost 34 pounds, and I'm in my first week of transition, and doing pretty well with that. Although, like some others I've heard, I didn't do so well on Easter, but just right back on the plan and watching my water. Something I'm enjoying lately is getting out and taking a lot of walks, especially with the dog. Craig tells me that dogs love this program. So.
Yep, they do. They get lots of walks. Yep. Well, great. Well, we're going to button it up for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Next week, I'll actually be in Spokane. For those of you that are clients of mine, this week and next week, I'm going to be in Austin, Texas, going to health coach school. So I'm getting some advanced training. And then next week, I'll be in Spokane and speaking at some schools and then racing on the 4th of May. So I've been training for that race. Some of you took the challenge to do a 5K in May. And so hopefully you guys have something scheduled for the first weekend in May or sometime so we can do that vicariously together. But we will have a huddle next week as usual. I'll just be tuning in from Spokane. So anyway, thank you all for joining me. I'm going to send an email out to everyone about that we won't be having our normal calls this week or next week, but we'll still do our you can still call and do check-ins. And keep up the great work, guys. This is far more than a simple 28-day challenge. These are habits that change lives, and you guys are all part of this this journey with us together. So thanks everybody that shared, and we will talk to you later.